Hello, everybody. I will be giving a dream. I will be sharing a dream that I had a couple of weeks ago in regards to what is coming. So the Lord showed me this is like a prophetic dream. So I wanted to share it with you. So I seen people coming in, and there was people sitting at tables. There were sections of tables. Then at one of the tables I seen a couple, and they both looked tore up, like they got struck by lightning and were burnt. And I seen a lady, her hair was halfway gone and shaved off, and they had bowls in front of them. There was a large man who looked like an angel, and he handed them menus. And on the menu, it read food at the top and drinks at the bottom. It wasn't a lot of selections. The food selection was witchcraft, garbage, curses, spells, hexes, voodoo, incantation, potions. For drinks, it read God's wrath, God's judgment, God's mercilessness, God's fury, God's anger, God's punishment, and lastly, God's vengeance. And he said all of the meals come with a drink. Then I walked away, and the lady was angry at me, and she wanted to spit on me. But the angel took out a sword and put it on her neck and told her, "Don't you even think about it." And I continued to walk away. And I went to the other tables and said to the ladies at the tables, one of the ladies at the table, I said, "You made it," and I was happy to see her. And she told me, "Congratulations." And I see more people coming in, and I seen there were like really big guys that were like coming in. Then I went back to sit down, and I this was like a wedding feast. This was a dream of a wedding feast, and my husband was there, and obviously, and I was the one like getting married. And then I went and I sat down next to him, and the table had the sign bride, and there's another sign next to it. It said groom. And the people who were happy stood up and applauded. And there were 2 thrones, and we were sitting on these thrones. And there was an announcer introducing us. And we both stood up, and they put crowns on our heads and gave us a scepter. Then we both got up at the same time and walked around. We went to all the tables. Everyone in the back was eating and drinking their judgments. And I can hear the people in the front clapping. They were celebrating with us. But the ones in the back were mad. Some were crying. Some were screaming. And I heard others cursing. Then I heard, "This is their final judgment." My husband and I passed by their tables. And my husband asked one guy who was eating, "Do you repent?" And he shook his head, "No." And we continued to pass by the other tables, and I seen a woman crying. She said, "I'm tired of this." And I can see the sincerity. I can feel the sincerity in her as well. And the woman looked at me, and she had no eyes. They have been gouged out. She was sincere, and she didn't want to be doing witchcraft anymore. I could feel her heart, and she was sitting at the table that said witches. I went to the time when she was being created, and I was trying to find out what her real name was, because she was covered in many names. And I found out that her name was Heidi. And she didn't even know what her real name was or who she was. And when I told her her name, she changed. She was so happy. And I asked her, do you repent? And she nodded her head yes. With tears in her eyes, she said yes. And she got up from the table so fast she didn't want to be there anymore. And I told the angels, take her to be restored and have her sit at the other tables. And we kept walking, me and my husband, and we seen another lady. She raised her hand and she said, I'm done eating. But my husband asked her, do you repent? And she said proudly, nope. He told them, keep feeding her. Then I seen the waitresses come and bring more plates and have them fill up their cups. When they drank it, it was bitter to them and it burned them. So we were going around while everybody was eating and drinking. Some were crying, others were groaning, and they were upset. But we kept on walking. And there was a man who was crying, and he looked remorseful, but he looked like he hasn't fully surrendered. Then I heard, wait for him. Then I heard my husband say, wait a little longer for this one. And he told the angel, keep feeding him. Then we walked back to our table and we sat down. And we started reading their judgments. Then I heard my husband say, if you don't want to repent, you will continue to eat your judgments. And he said, eat up. And that was the end of my dream. That was the end of my dream. So that was very interesting. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. For all who don't know, God showed me that his judgments are coming and that they are here, and they are here for the ones that is on his judgment list. And sadly there are a lot of people on this list. So the Lord showed me in a dream, this is what is coming for them. They will be eating and drinking of the great feast. And in the Bible, in Revelations, it talks about the great feast of God. And I believe while they are eating, there's birds coming to peck. They're coming to eat off of them and eat. While they are eating, these birds are eating and pecking at them. So that's what's coming. So that was my dream.